Hello everyone, I am Karuna Nikum, Assistant Professor in Electrical Engineering Department. Today we will discuss about harmonics, its causes and consequences in this presentation. The content which we will discuss that are what are harmonics and why do we care for the harmonics, types and causes of harmonics, why they are removed and what are the different consequences of harmonics, and in last, what are the different methods to remove harmonics. First of all, for understanding the harmonics, we have to know what is fundamental frequency. Fundamental frequency of the sinusoidal waveform is the first harmonic order frequency, and it is equal to the supply frequency. In India it is 50 Hz and in USA it is 60 Hz. So this is the sinusoidal waveform and it follows the 50 Hz frequency. Here it is the representation of current and voltage of instantaneous value. This is the maximum value. Here omega is the angular frequency and F is the fundamental frequency. What are harmonics? The harmonic signals are defined as the integral multiple of the fundamental frequency of the system, voltage and current. Generally, harmonics produced when your system is having nonlinear loads in the power system. Now this is the harmonic frequency, that is the multiple of the fundamental frequency. Here n is represented by 2, 3, 4 and so on. F is at number 1. So this is the fundamental. Types of harmonics. The harmonics order can be assigned according to the frequency of voltage or current waveform. Here these are the harmonic orders 1, 2, 3 and so on. 1 is at 50 Hz. Second is the order when 2 is multiplied by 50, it is 100 Hz. When 3 is multiplied by 150, it is 150 Hz and so on. 4, 5, 6 is multiplied by 50 produces the result 200, 250, 300, 350 Hz. All frequencies which has order of 2, 4 and 6 are known as even harmonics. All harmonic order having the odd numbers and multiplied by fundamental frequency are called odd harmonics, whereas all frequencies having the multiple of 3 are also known as triple order harmonics or zero sequence harmonics. Now this is the representation of the harmonics. This is the second harmonics. It has 2 cycles in 1/2 cycle of the fundamental frequency, whereas third harmonics has 3/2 cycle into the 1/2 cycle of the fundamental frequency. This is the fourth harmonic which has 4/2 cycle 1, 2, 3, 4 in 1/2 cycle of the fundamental frequency. Harmonics is further divided into 2 parts, that is interharmonics and subharmonics. The interharmonics is which are not an integer multiple of the fundamental frequency. They are generally discrete frequency. They appear in the system as an discrete frequency. It means 2.5, 3.1, 6.5 like that. Subharmonic frequency. Subharmonic frequency is again a non-integer multiple but less than fundamental frequency, and it is mathematically represented as subharmonic is greater than 0 but it is less than fundamental frequency. It means it is less than 50 Hertz. So in between 0 to 50 Hertz, if you have a frequency distortion, it comes under the category of subharmonic frequency. Generally, it dictates and useful in communication circuits. Harmonic analysis. Harmonic analysis is the mathematical representations of the harmonics or signals. Now, harmonics are represented by a Fourier series, and Fourier series is an infinite series expansion which has cosine and sine terms. Here you see A0 by 2, which is a DC offset. It is generally present in our system in the form of DC offset, and this is the summation of all the cosine term from n equal to 1 to infinite, and here it is the summation of all sine terms from n equal to 1 to infinite for the period of 2L. An and Bn represent the Fourier coefficient here, and this is the expansion of Fourier series. Now when we rearrange our Fourier series, here Ft, you see here Ft is equal to A0 by 2 plus, when you collect all the component which has n equal to 1, then this part become fundamental value. When you collect all the terms which has n equal to 2, then this part is second harmonic. When n equal to 3, and this term, complete this term is known as third harmonic. Similarly, in this fashion, for 4, 5, 6 and so on, so all harmonics we can distribute or separate. When I only add odd component into the series, it means for 1 we add this term, for n equal to 3, for n equal to 5. When we add all the odd component, then it generates a waveform which looks like a square wave waveform, and this pattern is having odd harmonics. Now when you add all the component which has the even value of n, here you see A equal to 2 cos 2t plus B2 sin 2t plus A4 cos 4t and so on. This is the term for 6, this is the term for 4 and this is the term for 2 plus DC offset. When you add all the even terms into the system, then it generates a signal like sawtooth waveform, and this all added together and make even harmonic component. Now addition of harmonic into a fundamental component. Now one question is arise in your mind, why only odd component are taken into the consideration? Here you see 3rd, 5th, 7th and 9th are taken into the consideration because in electric power system only odd components are present. Even components are generally absent in the system. So here we only deal with the odd component. When you have a fundamental component like this, and if your system is having such component is 7th component, this is 3rd component, is added to this sinusoidal signal, then your resultant signal is in the red one is distorted. And you also one thing is observe here, as the harmonic order is increases from 3 to 5 5 to 7, frequency is increases 150 to 250 hertz, but at the same time magnitude is decreases. So as the order increases, magnitude of the frequency is decreases. So this is when you add all the odd component into the fundamental frequency, then your signal becomes a square wave. This is the spectrum of your harmonic pattern. Here you see that all the components are present. See, this is the bar chart which has y-axis of magnitude of the percentage of fundamental, and on the x-axis there is a frequency. At 0, this is the offset value, A0 by 2. This is the present in our signal. Now this is the fundamental signal which is having 100% value in our system. So this represents the fundamental component. Now this represents the second harmonic component, which is present in this particular case is of 80%. Now this is the 150. This is 200 hertz, and this is 250 times. When your system is not having any type of nonlinear load, then this is not present in the system. Then only fundamental part is available. Now you see the further example. See here, when your signal is not distorted and follow the pure sinusoidal path, then the spectrum is having only one value of the fundamental. This is the representation and this is the resultant. But now when in your system third harmonic components are present and it added to the sinusoidal signal, it distort the signal and the shape of the waveform is changes like this, and your spectrum is having sinusoidal signal plus third harmonic component. When your signal is having sinusoidal component with third harmonics and seventh harmonics, then your resultant signal after addition of third and seventh in the sinusoidal signal, then it is like this. So fundamental plus third and fifth. You see that as the lower order frequencies are adding into the sinusoidal or at fundamental frequency, the resultant waveform change its shape very fast. So we conclude that the lower order harmonics have very strong effect on the signal. Now when we add up to 17th order of the harmonics into our basic fundamental signal, then what happened? The resultant waveform is look like this. Now we reduce here. We added up to 15th order of harmonics to the fundamental signal. Then your waveform is look like this. Now here you again reduce one more component, 13. You here see that the pattern is approximately equal to this about 2 pattern. So we conclude here that the higher order harmonics do not have much influence, because as the orders are increases, the magnitude is also decreases. As the magnitude is decreases, the shape of waveform is not changes drastically. So lower order harmonics are more dangerous than higher order harmonics because of high magnitude. Harmonics in the power system. Now when your power system is deal with the harmonics, so it changes its power factor pattern, it changes its real power or true power or reactive power pattern. So when harmonics are not present, then it is act as an ideal system. But now we will see what happen when harmonics are come into the picture. But before that, we have to recall or revise our basic knowledge from the previous subjects, basic electrical. RMS value. You all know that what is RMS value. The RMS of a sinusoidal gives the same heating effect of an equivalent DC supply when used to compare the equivalent RMS voltage value of an AC waveform that supply the same electric power to a given load as an equivalent DC circuit. It is the square also represented by root mean square value of the instantaneous value. It is the basically it is a representation, and it is also known as effective value. And one more thing you have to remember, that is the RMS only refer to time varying sinusoidal voltage or current waveform, where the magnitude of the waveform is continuously changes over a time, and it is not used in DC circuit analysis or calculation where the magnitude is always constant. Now this is the waveform description. Here, when your system is ideal and having no harmonics and no distortion, then this is the RMS value of the system, which is equal to the, for sinusoidal case, is equal to the 0.707 times of maximum value, and you direct calculated current in that case. But when your current is distorted, or when your system is having some harmonic component which are added into the system, now not this is the case. Now your RMS value of the voltage is changes. It has the real practical value is like this, under root of DC offset value square plus all the component with fundamental component present into the system. As your load is non-linear, then it again has the DC offset value plus all the component of harmonic with fundamental are added together. So this is the practical value of the RMS current, and this is the practical value of the RMS voltage. Types of power. Now here you all see this is looking very simple, but as the harmonics entered into the picture, the powers behave differently. You see in later slides also. Active power, it is the actual power which is really transferred to the load and really dissipated in the circuit. In DC circuit, power is simply the product of voltage across load and current flowing across it, because in DC circuit there is no concept of phase angle between current and voltage. And this active power unit is watt and represented by P, and it is also have various names like real power, actual power, true power, wattful power and useful power. Here now we discuss what is reactive power. The reactive power continuously bounce back and forth between source and load, and it is known as reactive power. The energy is first stored and then released in the form of magnetic field or electrostatic field in case of inductor and capacitor respectively. Here reactive power is also known as useless power or wattless power, because it cannot contribute any fruitful into the system. So this is useless power. It is not required actually, and it is represented as Q and its unit is in kVAR. Apparent power. Apparent power is the summation of real power or reactive power. It is also known as complex power, and it is represented as P plus JQ. True power plus reactive power, and its unit is in kVA. Our power system is having inductive load and capacitive load. Generally, major loads are inductive load. In that case, our power factor is always lagging. Reactive power is always positive. But when your loads are capacitive, then your power factor is leading and your reactive power is negative. So here we conclude that resistor absorbs the real power and dissipates in the form of heat and light, whereas inductor absorbs the reactive power and store energy in the form of magnetic field. Capacitor also absorbs the reactive power and store energy in the form of electrostatic field. Now here, this is the power triangle representation. Basically, power triangle representation of leading and lagging properties of the load. When your Q is having greater than 0 and having positive value or reactive power is positive, then it means your load is inductive. When your reactive power is become negative or less than 0, then it is capacitive circuit. So for capacitive circuit, this is power triangle. For inductive load circuit, this is the power triangle. So here, this is the overall representation of the power triangle, and true power is equal to VI cos phi. Here reactive power is equal to VI sin theta, and this is the apparent power, that is VI. So S is equal to under root of P square plus Q square, and the new definition of power factor here is true power upon apparent power. Now you all revised your concept. What is power factor, RMS value, inductive load, capacitive load. Now we move towards the power factor. Power factor is a figure of merit that measures how effectively energy is transmitted between a source and a load, and it has the value in between 0 and 1. And utility and suppliers always want their power factor become 1 because they would like to see all their load act as a resistive load. And in this case, when no harmonics and other components are present into the system, then your voltage and current are in the same shape and same harmonic spectrum. So your power factor is become unity. But in practical power system, there are harmonics and power factor is never unity. So again, we divide the power factor into two parts. Number 1, displacement power factor, and number 2, apparent or true power factor. Displacement power factor is generally deals with the utility side when your voltage and current is at 50 Hertz only and they are in same phase. And true power factor comes into the picture when in your system having non-linear load, and by this non-linear load harmonics are present. So when harmonics are present, your power factor is different. But when harmonics are not present into the system, then your power factor is different. So it is displacement power factor is defined for apparent power and it is defined for true power. Displacement power factor is always greater than true power factor. Now two more points you have to remember. A positive power factor indicates the load is consuming power and the negative power factor indicates the load is generating power. So the sign of power factor matches the sign with the power. Now these are the voltage equation for the average power transfer in a power system. When your source is having distortion as well as your loads are non-linear, then this is the basic equation. V0 plus fundamental component plus all the harmonic component associated with the voltage. So this is the practical representation of the source with the distortion. It is the practical representation of the current with the distortion. And for that, if you find out the power is also having a equation like this. So for practical power system, this is the average power equation due to the presence of harmonics, that is V0 I0 DC offset power plus summation of all the power for fundamental plus power due to harmonic component presence into the system. Now we take first case. Here in this case, voltage and load both are having zero distortion. It means this system is ideal system. So you all know that Vt is equal to V1 cos n omega t minus phi 1. There is no distortion in the voltage and no distortion in the current. Then your system is look like this. Now for such system, power is equal to V1 I1 by 2 into cos phi 1 minus theta 1. So this is the equation. Now if we find power factor for such system is V1 by root 2 and I1 by root 2 multiplied by cos phi 1 minus theta 1. So this is what? This is the average power divided by apparent power. So apparent power is V into I. So after solving, we will have only cos phi 1 minus theta 1. So in this case, when there is no harmonics present into the system, your displacement power factor is equal to the true power factor, that is cos phi 1 minus theta 1. Now, non-linear load in your system with the sinusoidal source. When your source is distortion free, so see, this is the value of voltage and this is the value of current, because current is distorted and it has DC offset value plus fundamental value plus other harmonic component. So current is look like this. For such system, average power is like this. And power factor, for power factor is V1 I1 divided by 2 multiplied by cos phi 1 minus theta 1, and this is the apparent power current multiplied by voltage. So this is the current and this is the V1 by 2 RMS value. This is the voltage. All the V1 by root 2 is the RMS value. You know this because V1 and I1 is the maximum value and divided it by root 2. So it become a RMS value. So RMS value of current and here RMS value of voltage. So your power factor is look like this now. Now see, this is the factor in terms of current is known as current distortion factor, and this is the, you already know, when your system is ideal then this is the power factor, and in that case power factor is equal to displacement power factor. So this is the displacement power factor. So in such cases your power factor is equal to, when your loads are non-linear, then your power factor is equal to current distortion factor multiplied by displacement power factor. Now see the next case, when your load is non-linear and source is also distorted. We already see in our previous slide, this is the voltage when distortion are present, V0 plus fundamental component plus other harmonic component in this equation, and this is the representation of current, here the DC offset current plus fundamental current plus all other harmonic component into the system. Now the presentation of the P average for such type of system is like this. This is the DC offset power plus fundamental power plus all power due to the harmonic component. So this is the P average. So power factor is equal to P average divided by voltage into current. So here this equation comes into the picture. So see, when I separate all the voltage term here, you see all the current terms here, and this is the power factor. I separate it out. All these voltages are voltage distortion factor. All this current I1 by root 2 divided by I0 square plus all the summation of current is current distortion factor, and this is displacement factor. So see, one more term comes into the picture, that is voltage distortion factor. When your system is having distorted voltage and non-linear load, so this is the power factor for such type of system. Now you see here, when your load is non-linear, source is also distorted, so power factor is voltage distortion factor multiplied by current distortion factor multiplied displacement power factor. When your only load is non-linear and sinusoidal voltage is of a good quality, then power factor become current distortion into displacement factor. And when your system is ideal, then your power factor is equal to cos phi, or displacement power factor and true power factor is equal. Now one more term, new term is come into the picture here, total harmonic distortion. Now what is total harmonic distortion? It is the frequently used measure harmonic level, and it is the ratio of all the RMS value other than fundamental present into the system. It is the summation of all RMS value other than fundamental divided by fundamental component is equal to harmonic distortion into the system. So this, when you use voltage terms here to represent the term, then this is the total harmonic distortion for voltage. If you use here all the current other than fundamental, so see here, for n equal to 2 to infinite, all the component of current upon fundamental current under the square root is known as current total harmonic distortion for current. Now see, if THD is 0, suppose if THD is 0 or all the harmonics are 0, then what happened? THD is 0. If THD is 0, then current distortion factor is 0. If current distortion factor is not present into the system, then your power factor, true power factor is equal to displacement power factor. Now, when the load is non-linear with distorted source, now your RMS value is represented in the terms of THD. Now we all see all the terms are in terms of harmonics, total harmonic distortion. So your RMS value is represented by this equation. Your current is represented by this equation. So the power factor is P average upon this equation. So this is the VRMS and this is the IRMS. So P average divided by apparent power. Apparent power is what? VRMS multiplied by IRMS. So here P average divided by, we separate it out, I1 RMS and V1 RMS, and this is the terms for current and this is the term for the voltage. Generally this term is very low. In some cases it is less than 5%, in some cases it is less than 10%, but generally it is less than 3% in the system. So we neglect this term always. So the remaining term, so this is, and this is the displacement power factor, you remember, and this is the remaining part is 1 divided by 1 plus THD I by 100 is the distortion power factor. Now another term is come into the picture, distortion power factor, and the distortion power factor, displacement power factor and true power factor, they are very crucial for calculation of our system, how they behave. So these are the very important terms to remember. Hope you will understand all this. Now here this is the graph for the home appliances or for single phase electronic load. See, as the THD of the equipment or the current distortion, THD of the current distortion is increases, the true power factor is decreases. Displacement power factor is not affected by this THD. The true power factor is decreases, and generally all the single phase load having THD of near 100%. So in our home appliances, all the electronic load having the power factor below 0.7 till 0.3, 0.4, they are working at such type of distorted power factor. Now, sometimes the distortion is produced by load as they are non-linear. Sometimes disturbances also come from the supply side. See, if the supply is having other frequency, then your signal is represented like this. Omega is 2 pi and having the second harmonic component, so 4 omega t. So this is the voltage for second harmonic, Em sin 4 omega t. So this is the component for fourth harmonics, that is 2 pi f for 4 time of fundamental frequency. So Em sin 8 omega d. In a similar way, this is for third harmonics, that is Em sin 6 omega t. For fifth harmonics, it is Em sin 10 omega t. All such harmonic component when added or distortion are added into our fundamental Em sin 2 omega t. So they distort our supply. So sometimes supply itself distorted due to their network. Now it is the new power triangle with distortion in our system. Here you see that this is the active power when your voltage and current at fundamental frequency or at 50 Hz. This is the reactive power when voltage and current with 50 Hz frequency. This is the apparent power when voltage and current at 50 Hz. This is our basic power triangle. Now what happened? There is another current coming from non-linear load due to the presence of distortion. So there is one more power, that is distortion reactive power. And the summation of this distortion reactive power plus this reactive power due to fundamental is harmonic reactive power. This is harmonic reactive power. Now I want how much apparent power required to supply our system, because the need is increased, because there is one more component into our system, that is distortion reactive power. To fulfill this harmonic reactive power, our system has to give extra power. So now this S is bigger than this S at 50 Hz. See, this is the 50 Hz. Now this as the demand of increase apparent power is, now we have to increase to fulfill the need of load as well as to fulfill the harmonic component requirement and harmonic reactive power. Now from here we have to calculate D, distortion reactive, how much distortion reactive power is present in our system due to the harmonics. So this is the right angle triangle, you all see. So base square plus perpendicular square is equal to S. So this is the formula. So here for finding the D, square is equal to S square minus S of 50. So from here we calculate distortion reactive power. Now why do we care for harmonics? I think you clear all such thing about harmonics. Now we proceed for why we care for the harmonics. Because of some dangerous consequences of harmonics like added losses to the installation, unwanted overload for transformer, motors and wiring, heating of motors and generators, unwanted circuit breaker tripping and fuse blowings, unexpected resonance, disturbances in electronic equipment causing logical faults in digital circuit. Here you see, this is the damage of meters and connectors. This is the fire in the power transformer, and this is the damage of capacitor, and this is the temperature increase in the induction motor due to harmonics. Now some of the harmonic problems are also present within the installation, like overloading of the neutral when we have 3-phase 4-wire system, overheating of the transformer and induction motors, noxious tripping of the circuit breakers, overstressing of power factor correction capacitors, skin effect is also increased due to harmonics, because skin effect is depend on frequency and harmonic component are higher than the fundamental frequency. Problem caused by harmonic voltages, voltage distortions and zero crossing noise are also produced by these harmonics. Now here some the example of system in which harmonics create overheating. So this is, see, these two cables are not look like very dark orange in color, but these two are look like a orange in color. So it's their temperature is very high, so the neutral overheating problem is here. This is the problem of transformer overheating due to harmonics, and this is lines are overheating due to harmonics. Some meters wires are overheating, and here you see from three phases, one phase is having extra current, and due to this extra current it is overheated. And here you see transformer is also overheated due to harmonic components. Generally, harmonic produces due to non-linear load and unbalanced system. You see, when your loads are non-linear, then what happens? The source current waveform is shape changes. But when your load is linear, then your phase is shift, but it follow the sinusoidal pattern. Again, your system is balanced, then you have zero neutral current. But when your system is unbalanced, you have one more component of current, that is flow in the neutral, which is not good. It is very dangerous. Now here we see there are two types of load, non-linear load and linear load. Linear load takes sinusoidal shape waveform current, and non-linear load take square shaped waveform current, and the remaining portion of current this non-linear load send back to the source, and this remaining portion of current is add with the source current, and source current is distorted. When source current is distorted and it flows through the source impedance, then it makes your voltage is also distorted. These are the some causes of harmonics. The main causes is power electronic loads, such as when in industry and commercial building we use power conversion technologies, VFDs and ASDs, adjustable speed drive, variable frequency drive, switch mode power supply, SMPS, and electronic devices like computer, printer, fax machine, LEDs, CFL. All these are non-linear loads. Arcing loads, switching operations of capacitor, all this create harmonics. And these are some pictures of the non-linear and linear load. This is the non-linear load for CFL LED, linear load, induction motor and incandescent lamp. All the electronic component as in used in domestic and residential and commercial building, and VFDs as ASDs is used in industries. So these are the example of linear and non-linear load. Now, why harmonics should be reduced? So from the previous slide you already understood that why harmonics should be reduced. Now one more aspect come into the picture. When harmonics are present in the power system, it distorts the quality of our power. It creates faults again and again, shut down the system, and due to which frustration in the workers are increased. The environment is also unsafe for the worker because there is a risk of fire. Due to the interruption in work, there is a loss of capital in the industry. Equipment damage, repairment and maintenance cost is also increased. Unscheduled downtime, this is the very crucial factor. It disturbs the continuous process. So in hospitals and such type of loads where it require continuous supply, so it is very dangerous, because due to harmonics sometime we face unscheduled downtime, and it also spoilage from semi-finished production. All this make decrease energy efficiency and increase the losses and production, as well as increase the payback time. Also it is not good for the industry. So harmonic distortion is not a new phenomena in the power system, and it is caused due to non-linear load, and it is present in some degree of in all types of load, but we have to control harmonics when they become a problem. It is not necessary to mitigate harmonics at all level, but when harmonic create a problem in your system, then you have to remove, because the solution of harmonics mitigation is very costly. Now there are some parameters. Depending on the electrical power system, there is a lot of places where harmonic can causes inefficiency. Generally, motor temperature increases by 10% to maintain the output. If your system is having harmonic, so your motor have to increase temperature by 10 degree to maintain that similar output. And losses due to harmonic current is also increased by 50%. This is the very crucial point. 50%. And in the lifespan, like fan and pump motor, due to extra hearing in the motor stator. This can also reduce the life of motor and other devices by 50% due to the presence of harmonics. About 50% of transformer loss of life is caused by thermal stress, which is produced by non-linear load. When your transformers are connected through a non-linear load, it means their 50% life is lost by thermal stress, and its efficiency is also reduced when they carry the harmonic current. Whereas motor loses 0.1% efficiency with each 1% rise of harmonic voltage distortion. Now you see, harmonics are very dangerous to our system, but after the recommended level. In a hospital setting, suppose here is one example. In hospital, a large heating, ventilation, air conditioning system having for example of 500 HP fan and pump load running at 5% voltage distortion instead of 1%. If their voltage distortion up to 5%, then they have to pay extra cost near about 11 to 12 lakh per year for every 500 HP fan and pump load. So this is very increase the cost. So it is very necessary to reduce the harmonic level below a certain recommended point. Now there are some methods to remove the harmonics. Harmonics can be controlled by reduce the harmonic current produced by the load. In some cases, like in commercial load and residential load, equipment itself is made like such that they have to reduce harmonics. They have to work at better power factor. So all the manufacturer have to pay attention on such type of technique to make a single phase electronic load with a higher power factor and low current distortion. Now add the filter. Add filters. It is possible in the industries to mitigate the harmonic and also to modify the frequency responses of the system by filter. It means passive filter by using inductors and capacitors. Now these are the some example which are majorly used, that is corrective measure. By using passive filter we can reduce the harmonics. By using active filter again harmonics are reduced, and the combination that is known as passive filter plus active filter is known as hybrid filter is also used to mitigate the harmonics. Passive filters are cheap option, and this is very costly and require very high maintenance. To moderate this cost, so we generally use hybrid filter. So filters generally reduces the problem of voltage and current, and the passive filter is the combination of R, L and C. Active filter is a combination of power electronic technologies which can cancel the harmonic current component by producing specific current components. And the active and passive filter is a combination of RLC plus power electronic technology which makes hybrid filter. Now passive filter. See, this is the system. This is the supply coming from a incoming transformer. Okay. First of all, this is the non-linear load and this is the linear load. Linear load is taking sinusoidal current, but non-linear load is taking non-linear current, and the remaining portion it sent back to the supply, and that remaining portion is added to the supply current, and the shape of supply current is changes like this. So power factor is affected and reduces. So passive filter, here we connect one passive filter LC combination which provide the low impedance path. So the current, the remaining current which is not absorbed by this non-linear load is flow from here, because this is also having a source impedance. So our main aim to make this passive filter is having very low impedance path, then current is not going here and add into the supply current. So it is mitigate and flow from this path. Active filter. Active filter is work on the technology when your system is having source current is like that. Now non-linear is having here the current like square shape current. Now the remaining portion of the waveform, it is not taken by load, so it sends back to the supply. So this is the remaining portion which is not absorbed by the load, and now this remaining portion is added to the source current and it distorts the source current shape. But in active filter, here we connect one inverter which produces a current waveform which is just opposite to the this remaining current. So when here this current is flow, this compensation current flow, and from here the remaining current is flow, and both are in the phase opposition and both are cancelled together, and your source current is again sinusoidal. So this is the basic principle of active filter. And here this is the combination of active and passive filter. To reduce the cost of overall active filter, we have to insert passive filter, because as we shift to the only for active filter, the maintenance cost and the cost of active filter is very higher than passive filter. So it is not a good solution for industrialist to allow only active filter. So hope you all will understand what is harmonics and how they are represent and their analysis from this presentation. I thank you to all attendee to attend this seminar. If you require more knowledge on that, we will discuss the practical aspects of this active filter and the working of the passive filter and the designing of this two filter, how we design this active and passive filter in next webinar. So I also thanks Udit Electrical. They provide me a material and guidance in this presentation. And any question, you mail me. If you have any suggestion, kindly